Fresh Baked, we're in the parks to update you guys on what's happening at California Adventure. We're going to go to every land. We're going to go to every attraction. We're going to look at the crowds. We're going to look at the queues. We're going to tell you what's new. This is our State of DCA report. Great timing for the red car trolley down Buena Vista Street. Oh man, back to the trenches once more, my friends, to see what's going on around here at California Adventure. Week in, week out, these are just becoming my favorite videos to make because I just love talking about the state of things here at the Disneyland Resort, both at Disneyland and here at DCA. Lots to talk about, lots in the news these days. Obviously, we're in the throes still of the Halloween season. As I record this on a Monday morning, it's about 11:30 on a Monday, so I'm expecting crowds to be nominal, but getting busier. Monday is the new Saturday after all. Now, one good piece of news that I can tell you regarding today is that this is in opposition a little bit to what we talked about in the State of Disneyland report, is that I got this reservation for this Monday morning today. I wasn't actually planning to be in the parks today. Last second decision. And there was a reservation waiting for me. There weren't a lot of them because it was just a DCA start, but luckily for me, that's what I wanted anyway. But there was availability today, and there is some for tomorrow and other days this week. So I think what this is while the Enchant and Imagines are not blocked out during the week, they are blocked out during the weekends. They are not blocked out during the week. But that does make it more likely that passes like the Believe and Inspire are going to grab those weekend days, those Saturdays and Sundays, as opposed to coming during the week, freeing up more of those daytime dates or weekday dates. So that's a little bit of good news for this morning edition. Crowd-wise, what I'm seeing here is actually kind of busy. This compares at least to what we saw last month and maybe even more busy. It's hard to say. You know, like I feel like my vision and my memory of what I'm seeing in the parks is pretty good typically. And I could just, from reference, say this looks or feels just a little bit more dense than it was in the past. Schmoozies. I mentioned in our construction update yesterday, Schmoozies is still closed. There is something afoot at Schmoozies. They were supposed to be open already. They were supposed to be open 3 weeks ago. Stage 17. Gratefully closed, as again, we talked about, I can't wait. Okay, we talked about that also in our construction report, but I'm only mentioning here as we're passing by, but the real goal is to get over to Monsters, Inc. because I need to have, my monthly session on my distaste for Genie Plus here at California Adventure. The reason why it's different here, the reason why it feels different is because all the good rides, all of them, are on Genie Plus. And there's not that many rides to begin with, so it just feels like the whole park. There's nothing to do. If you don't have Genie Plus, you're going to have to wait. I was so hoping. I was like, no, this is the week. This is the week where I'm not going to say anything about Monsters, Inc. I mean, I know I'm going to do a drive-by, and I know it's going to be, I'm going to have to say something, but I didn't want to think, oh my God. But it's worse. It's worse today. 60 minutes. 60 minutes standby, and that queue is poking. Normally that's Lightning Lane. Oh no, that is Lightning Lane. That's even worse. 60 minutes it's not even noon. It's almost like it's the opposite too of Smuggler's Run. That is just, the standby queue does go all the way to the back, and it's a very excruciating, non-entertaining queue. It's the opposite of Smuggler's Run. When Smuggler's Run gets dead, it's Lightning Lane only and nobody gets in standby. But it feels like, it's just wreaking havoc, once again, on the standby situation on Monsters, Inc. It's just going to be a monthly thing. Let's escape the Hollywood backlot and head down to Avengers Campus via the Hyperion Theater, where it is currently vacant. No shows are happening right now. WDW News Today, though, is reporting a rumor that they're going to bring back Rogers the Musical, which is a great idea. That's a great idea. Because it's really the only thing that makes any sense in that building today if they're trying to be at all thematically consistent. Now I'm going to assume a couple of things from that information. A, that Rogers performed at least reasonably well enough that they felt like they want to bring it back. Two, they're probably going to bring back the preferred seating situation. That probably paid off. And D, that was the plan all along. It was always the plan to close it for the holidays and then bring it back in January if it does. I don't know what the logic is there. I'm sure there is. There's some sort of reasoning behind that, and there are probably some sharp pencil folks who could explain it. But I feel like that was always the plan. They make it sort of a limited engagement to create more artificial scarcity, something that they have been, bending over backwards to try and do these days. And that's a Chapek thing, by the way. Chapek invented artificial scarcity within the Disney Corporation, that is, starting with the vault. You guys remember the vault, the VHS tapes in the vault, where they would only release Cinderella on VHS once every 5 or 10 years or something like that? That was Chapek. It was that invention that elevated him within the Disney company. I digress. I believe that was always the plan. We'll see how well that plays out. But I mean, at least it's something. We get a show at the Hyperion, hopefully, fingers crossed. As for Guardians of the Galaxy, looking rather popular this afternoon. Hi. Hey guys. Says 45 though. That ain't bad. This is a difficult one to measure because of the volume of Genie Plus, lightning lanes that they go through here. 45 minutes is the posted standby. I just want to see what that looks like right after we watch Five and Dime go by. Oh, we have a new band member.
We're heading to number 1, and when I say the top, I mean the top. We're going all the way to the top of the Empire State Building.
That's a great show. I love the Five and Dime. That's a long queue for 45 minutes for standby. Out here into the extended part, where they don't normally have a queue, they have to put up some ropes. 45 minutes out here, that means that they're not doing any lightning lane business at the moment. Yet they're crushing it at Monsters, Inc. I swear I don't understand any of this sometimes. It's all just a giant mystery to me. And I'm just here to relay the information, it seems like. I would have expected a shorter queue at 45 minutes, because that's for Mission Breakout. 45 minutes is a reasonable wait for Mission Breakout. Something that I have been learning. I am deep into a recon session for Rise of the Resistance, and it's really taught me a lot, not just about Rise, but it's taught me a lot about what is or isn't a long wait. And 45 it's not that bad. It's doable. It's easy. I feel like, and this is something I might go into in the video, I feel like locals and the guys who are just here to kind of mess around or whatever are a little spoiled in the sense that we don't tolerate much. And I say we because that's me as well. But we won't tolerate a long wait. We'll just do something else. But I've been on Rise now 25 times. It's not so bad. I've only had 1 or 2 maybe excruciating sessions, but it's not so bad. I can do 45 minutes of Mission Breakout. Sure. PIMS is so close. Can I just say that real quick? PIMS is so close. Out here, it looks fantastic. The design out here is really, really cool. I love the seating that they have out here. I love the seating over here, next to the bar, next to PIMS Tasting Lab. I love the seating that they have on the left. There's a lot going on. But in here, it's just dreadful. This is dreadful. Not at all an enjoyable thematic experience. It's just a big open space with a few switchbacks. And it used to be post-COVID. This was just over here. All this right here was just a giant piece of empty space. This should have tables in here also, is my opinion, other than floating pretzels that, get blown up to enormous proportions. And that's a lot of space for standby. That's a lot of space for standby. I'm kind of bummed that the Rogers situation is over right now because they had a fantastic offering here at the Shawarma Palace. That now it's just back to the old regular shawarma that is all right. It's just like, it's kind of meh. The New York's tastiest shawarma, chicken shawarma, or the Impossible, it's all right. Now it's less than all right. It's like 45%. It's not good at all, actually. I should have been more rough. 55. Once again, Web Slingers has a shorter standby wait than Monsters Inc. That has been the case, I want to say, every time we've done this. Nobody out here in this portion of the standby queue. This, again, so close. They're so close on this. Because I love this part right here, the stuff in the queue. But I feel like they kind of didn't finish the job back there in the extended part back there. There needs to be more here. I don't know what it is, but I just feel like they're not all the way there. And this attraction is all about the pre-show. It's all about, or it should be all about the queue and the pre-show inside and the stuff with Peter Parker and all that, because the ride ain't very good. I appeared on a podcast recently with some fans of the show. They're doing a new podcast that I don't think I'm allowed to plug anything yet because nothing's been published. But in it we talked about Radiator Springs Racers and how much, the quality of Radiator Springs Racers basically as an attraction. And I said, hey, bring me back when you're ready to talk. Hey guys, how are you? I said, bring me back when you want to talk about web slingers while we're on the topic. I have opinions about web slingers that we haven't really got into for whatever reason, but I just haven't. But web slingers, so close. But the problems with web slingers are almost 100% have to do with the actual ride, which is just not very good. It's just not a very good ride. I'm sorry. I want it to be great, but it's not. Spider-Man's great. And let me tell you something, he is great, always. Every time I've watched Spider-Man interact with kids in the park, he's great, he's fantastic. Really nails it. Every friend of Spider-Man is A+ star of the show for me. I think they're great. Wow. I just love walking down Route 66 from the very first day. Back when I watched them build this place, watching them build Cars Land is what inspired me to create the construction reports that I do. And I was, here. I would post up at the Blue Sky Cellar. I don't know if I can find any video of that. I would post up at the Blue Sky Cellar, take out my, grandpa cam at the time, and get a shot over the wall, because there were walls right here. And I would look over the wall to see what they're doing on on Route 66, and they also had a really cool model inside there as well. But man, that's fond memories I have of watching them build. And so whenever I look down Route 66 like this, I think about that almost every single time. But before we continue that trek, let's take a quick look at Mater's Junkyard Jamboree, posted at 25, which is not standard.
And I was like,
Hi.
hi. Okay.
Actually, it's a little longer than it usually is. Well, it is Halloween season, so that should be the expectation. But that is a solid 25. It's not going to be less than that. That is a solid 25. Could even be more than that, which does reconcile with a conversation that we had a couple weeks ago in our State of Disneyland report. Oh, hey, how are you? Hi. Attractions Live, but just past Attractions Live. It does reconcile with the conversation we had a couple weeks ago with regard to, I feel like the attractions that they fudge lower are non-Lightning Lane attractions. 25 minutes posted. I feel like that's maybe more. It's at least 25, because I was just in a queue just like that the other night, and it wound up being at least that, maybe 30 or 35. But the ones that they fudge higher are the Lightning Lane attractions. I got to do some more recon on that. That's going to be an intensive study. It's going to take a little while, but it's a conversation that I've been wanting to have. Let's take a quick pass through the Cozy Cones. We've got a good-sized queue of guests waiting to find or see Lightning McQueen in his Halloween costume. That was another part of our conversation in the podcast that I was on recently, where me and the host, Ryan, I just don't understand the allure to cars. I just don't get it. But I know a lot of people do. Hey, how are you? Good. I mean, obviously, people are having a good time here, and it's very crowded and busy and all that. So it's definitely a hit with a lot of people. But personally, it's just not my taste, and I don't quite understand it. I know I'm wrong, but that's just a feeling that I have. But it is a beautiful rendition. Cars Land is. They nailed it. The scale of it, inch for inch, it looks just like Radiator Springs does in the film. So you got to give them that. Hi. The Cozy Cones, Flo's V8 Cafe, Ramone's, Luigi's, Pit Stop. Hi. Well, a lot of fans out today. Hey. Let's go to Radiator Springs Racers. We're going to go right up the street here at the intersection of Route 66 and Cross Street. That's if you want to go view Radiator Springs Racers, which we're going to in a minute. I have not looked at the tip board, so I don't know what to expect, but I'm going to guess 70 minutes. Could be more, actually. If Monsters was 60, well, it is more. It's infinite. It looks close. I see cars going by and people in them, but there's no... People are going in, but there's no posted time. So that's interesting. Let me look at the tip board. Not on the app either, so there must be a consistent issue going on. People are getting into the queue. I see people getting into the queue, but they're not updating the wait board. We'll have to come back on that when we check the full tip board later. They are ready for queue out here, which is interesting because normally this is not set aside. They don't normally have this roped off for queue. This is supposed to be a place for guests to actually, I wonder. No, because the tip board said, I was thinking maybe they just closed off standby because it was taking so long and they were turning guests away because they had too many lightning lanes. But the return time was for just a half an hour from now. So I'm not sure what that means. Those guests, I think, are getting in standby. That queue that you see sticking out over here, if I'm not mistaken, that's single rider. The far left queue is single rider. I'm viewing this obviously from the viewing area, so I'm not positive. There are guests going in to the left of it. Okay. Oh, there we go. I came back around to investigate, and now the sign is posting at 90. So that's a relief. And that is... Standby is the far right, lightning lane the middle, single rider far left. So that's single rider passing by. That's standby right here. Oh no, that's lightning lane. Oh my heavens. That's lightning lane. Oh my God. Yeah, she's telling you. She's telling you. Like, we don't need to be told, but she's telling you all these guests are going to get in before you. Standby is cruising. It looks very short. This is something that people need to... Visually, it looks like, oh my gosh, standby's a total bargain. I've seen whole videos about this. Look at how easy guests are just walking all the way to the front of the queue on standby. It looks inviting, but it is not, because all these guests are going to get to go before you do when you get in that queue. That's a promise. They're going to be here. They're going to be well on their way to, Goofy Sky School by the time you get in your vehicle. And single riders all the way back. That's, oh my gosh. That single rider queue where they're getting in right now, that's probably 45. I'm guessing maybe an hour for single rider. You hardly ever see it come all the way past the bridge and everything. You hardly ever see that. And by the way, as a Lightning Lane guest, don't be too put out or too concerned about seeing that queue. You will get priority. You heard her say it. You're going to get in there. So it looks long. It looks like it's unfair, but you're still going to get plenty of priority. It's just a busy day. So no matter, like, you can get the Lightning Lane. It definitely works. It definitely helps. And I highly recommend getting it, especially for those, to be qualified, for those who are here very rarely. People like me, I never get it because I'm just going to do whatever. It doesn't take too long. But that opinion has changed a little bit, as I was just discussing with respect to Rides of Resistance. My next project is, Radiator Springs Racers. I have a feeling that's going to be a much more grueling effort. 30 times on standby. Whew. Wait for me. Come on, one more before we go. Now I gotta wait at the picture spot. Here they come. Blue versus blue. All right. How's Baymax doing? We spoke about the queue, the wait time going down. Hey guys, how are you? In our construction report, I had noted that it was significantly shorter, and it looks like that is still the case here. It is just after noon, so I would expect San Francisco to be busy as heck. You know what, let's just take a tour. If you guys have ever wondered how hard or easy it is to get a table here during prime time. Hey, how are you? All right, good. Just watch and observe. Look at that. They've got taped off standby. You don't hardly ever see that. My goodness. Guys, get mobile order, please. Please, 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 please don't wait in that queue. That's an hour right there. You can save that whole hour if you just plan ahead a little bit with mobile order. There are so many seats here, so many tables, so many chairs, and yet still it is next to impossible to find a place during peak times. My goodness, they've even put more tables out here. These weren't here before. You guys feel that? Wow. Look at that crowd coming across the bridge. So many people. And yet, here, this is interesting. No waiting at the cerveceria. Hey, how are you guys? No waiting here to get a beer. But a good-sized crowd, as always. Every time I come by Casina, it is just a nightmare of standby. And that's actually, I've seen it way worse than that on many occasions. But just walk right up and get yourself a $14 beer at the Carl Strauss Impresa Cerveceria. How normal is that for a beer to be $14? I don't drink a lot of beer. So I'm not sure how, I don't go to baseball games or football games or things like that. So that seems like a lot. Hope you guys watched our construction report. We updated everybody on the bridge situation. I still haven't seen this place at night. I'm gonna have to fix that soon. Oh my gosh. Wow. Wow. I'm wowing at the queue. I mean, I guess it's not too bad, but normally people just post up and take their own pictures. But they've got a PhotoPass photographer out here setting up a stage shot right here at the steps, right with the Incredicoaster and Pixar Pal around in the background, creating a nice backdrop. You get yourself a professional shot. And there's about 20 people in the queue waiting to get their photo taken. That's about 20 minutes at least, maybe closer to a half an hour. And then once again, it's San Francisco, just doing booming business. Look at that. It just surprised me how busy that place is on a regular basis. It's busier than any land that you'll go to right now, anywhere in the park. Right? I mean, it's as dense as you'll find any space at DCA right now. Incredible. You know, the thinking is, why do they, bother putting in a skin on the Pacific Wharf when it's already, you didn't need to make it better. It was already doing great business. That's what I said. But it's actually the reverse. They put the skin on there because it was doing great business. They didn't put the Big Hero 6 skin overlay on the pier to make it, to draw in more guests. It was to take advantage of the popularity of the wharf and to, show people more guests Big Hero 6 and create an economy in there for that. You got the meet and greet and the merchandise and things like that. They're taking advantage of the popularity of Pacific Wharf. How is there nobody? That adorable snowman right now. How is there nobody here? It's open. And it's not cold out, it's warm. It's 70 something. That's wild. We're just moving right along, Fresh Baked. We're already at Pixar Pier, approaching a credit coaster, which looks very, very busy. The single rider queue isn't too long though. When it's bad, it's out here to the Coco sign. I've waited in that queue as well. I've done a lot of recon in my day. But today it's just right here. Those guests are going to wait about 20 minutes. Look at that. That's actually not too bad a queue. It's not very fun. It's not very enjoyable. It's just concrete and steel and switchbacks. But in spite of the fact that there's lightning lane, it does move pretty briskly. You've got a constant flow of vehicles coming in and out. You got two sides working. You're getting relief in the queue from single rider because the single rider guests are filling in the empty seats. It's a very efficient queue, which is why it often has a lower wait time than you might expect on a busy day, for example. So let's walk by, actually. Based on what I'm seeing there, I'm going to guess 45 minutes. But it all depends on lightning lane. Oh boy, that's down here as well. They're using every bit of that standby right now, man. They're using all of it. $45. Did I say 45? I think I said 45. I don't remember. Hey guys, I think I said 45. Oh! Yeah! I love the energy that Incredicoaster creates in this part of the park. It's great, man. Incredicoaster, oh my god. Guys, you see that line? I just walk by Critter Carousel every time because it's always just a walk-on. But again, this is the first time I've seen this peak out of its, proper queue in a long time. You might actually have to wait 2 rotations. That is rare. That means it's busy here at Pixar Pier and at DCA. Still haven't had any of this chicken since they've opened this land or reopened it. Gonna have to fix that. Buzz Lightyear and Jesse taking pictures with folks here at Toy Story Midway Mania. I have not been on this since the refurb, so I have no idea if anything changed. I need to go on more rides. I really do. This is great. This is really great. Why am I enjoying this so much? 50-minute standby right now. And it looks like it's mostly because of a lack of lightning lane. Because normally, Toy Story has a longer standby than that. And that's a pretty lengthy queue out here. Remember the days when we would fill all of this? We'd fill all of that. That's lightning lane right here. Oh, that's gonna go up. That's gonna go up. The standby. I'll bet you lunch that by the time we look at the tip board, it'll go up. Let's go do that right now, actually. I got the chicken. I don't know, Mike, why not do this now? Why not, right? Tastes like chicken. By the way, I'm trying to decide, is 3 pieces, 3 drumsticks, and a side of coleslaw $12? Is that a good deal? I feel like that's not a bad deal. All right, with lunch complete, let's get to the tip board. As usual, this will just be a few minutes. There's only 8 rides here at DCA. And we'll find one soon. There we go, Golden Zephyr, 10 minutes. We're looking at that right now. It's actually operating. Hey, the walls are down. I didn't even realize. Construction is over on Golden Zephyr. Goofy Sky School's 50. We'll be looking forward to checking that out and see what that looks like. Grizzly River Run. Again, 30 minutes. I don't understand. It's a lovely day. Why would you not want to be at Grizzly River Run right now? Return time in an hour. By the way, 2 hours return time for Goofy Sky School. Guardians is down to 25 minutes. The Genie Plus, that's because it's sold out. That's because they're gonna, at 4 o'clock or whatever, they're gonna switch over to Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, to Monsters After Dark. But 25 minutes standby, that's shocking. Is it because? No, I don't know, man, that's interesting. There we go, Incredicoaster down to 35. It looked like a dense queue, but when I walked by Lightning Lane, there was nobody in the Lightning Lane, and we got an hour and 20-minute return time. So they're not doing big business here, it doesn't look like, on Genie Plus today. Emotional Whirlwind is 20, Jesse's is a walk-on, Jumpy Jellyfish is near a walk-on right now, Little Mermaid, 20 minutes, we'll check that out. Luigi's is 30. Standard. Mater's is 20. Just get in Mater's, guys. Go have fun. Monsters Inc. is down to 35. Okay, so that's the Lightning Lane situation. We're seeing people aren't using Lightning Lane today. Fascinating. I wonder why today and not other days, or I should say not today and they are doing it on other days. Radiator Springs still crushing it at 90 with a almost 3-hour return time for individual. People are buying. This is a switch. Normally they'll buy the Genie Plus, but not Radiator Springs, so that's it. I feel like there's a collective consciousness happening, a collective decision where people say they're going to buy one and not the other. They're going to buy Genie Plus, but not individual Lightning Lane, or they're going to buy individual Lightning Lane and not Genie Plus, but they hardly ever buy both, and it's a collective. It's the entire park that's doing it. It's fascinating, but that's what it is. That's what this says to me right there. So, because 3 hours, almost 3 hours for a return time for individual Lightning Lane suggests that they're selling a ton of those, and so does the 90-minute standby. Soarin' 30. Wow. Seriously? Okay, there we go. Toy Story, 40 minutes. What was the one I predicted? I can't remember now. What was I predicting? I just said we're going to go look at the tip board and it's not going to be what we thought it was. It was Toy Story, but I thought it was going to be longer, right? Didn't I say it was going to be longer because that's the line, the Genie Lightning Lane queue is so long? But it went down. All right, I have to take back my king of queue self-title. That's opposite of what I was expecting, but it's consistent with what we're seeing across the tip board overall. That people are just they're already checked out. They're done for the day. It's wild. Web slingers.
officially have no idea what I'm doing. Why is Web Slinger 65 minutes and the return time 5 hours from now? Did they use them all? Is that what? They're done. They've used up, they bought all their GD Plus, they used them all up because there was only 5 or 6 shows or 5 or 6 rides here. They used them all up and the only one that's left is Web Slingers. I have got to do some intensive recon on Web Slingers one of these days.
Popped in real quick at a credit coaster to check in on this before we continue our report. 35 minutes, yeah. 35 minutes, but it looks about the same. Let me show you what I saw before that I didn't show you. I didn't record, but I saw it with my eyes. And that was an empty Lightning Lane queue, but that is not the case right now. That is not empty either. That 35 is about to go up, I have to think. Because that's a reasonable amount of Lightning Lane for Incredicoaster versus this for standby. Oh no. No, that's Lightning Lane. Oh my heavens. Oh no, that 35 minutes. Those guys are in trouble. That's all Lightning Lane right there. Good luck to you, Incredicoaster. And I guess while we're at it, we'll check in on Toy Story. It says 50 now. It was 45. Actually, when I walked by it the first time, it was blank. This, once more, I feel like people are showing up like they were on a break or whatever, because a bunch of people got in the Lightning Lane for Toy Story, for Incredicoaster, and now I see the same thing here at Toy Story. Look at that. That's just a lot of folks. Jump. Good luck, 50-minute queue. Oh my gosh, that's going to be 80 minutes by the time they're done. We're going to have to come back and do another tip board check because it's that size queue for Lightning Lane plus another 50 guests at least. The standby queue has grown. Okay, I'm just laughing out loud now. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Once more, good luck to you. Best of wishes, folks in the standby queues at Incredicoaster and Toy Story Midway Mania. Hi, how are you? Pixar Pal Around. I mean, it sure does photograph well. Swinging is 30. Non-swinging, 20. Actual, 30. That's 30, yes. For the swinging gondola. The non-swinging is not 30. The non-swinging gondola is, or 20 I should say. That's closer to 30. This may warrant an investigation later on when I start doing more ride wait time recon. But it certainly wasn't as obvious as the last time we were down here when it was like off by half an hour. 20 minutes for Emotional Whirlwind, no thank you. You got one rotation up top, nothing down below. That spells 5 minutes accurate. Congratulations, Disney, you did it, you got one right. It takes about, well, actually it takes closer to 10. Between 5 and 10 minutes to rotate when you include the ride time and then to get the guests out and to get the new guests in. It's more than 5, but less than 10. So between 5 and 10. Looks like they're about to do the celebration, the Coco celebration out there in front of Goofy Sky School. So we're gonna have to ninja our way around. This doesn't get enough love right here. This little beach they made. I think it's great. They're not letting us, I guess we have to go wide right to check in on Goofy Sky School. How do you ride Goofy Sky School right now, Disney? Got to go through the Sunglass Hut. We did it. What did it say, 50, right? Oh my. We talked about this last week. When you start seeing The queue going into the little garden out here. That's not good. And that's what's happening. The queue is in the garden. That's all standby. Oh my gosh, that is just the least sexy wait ever. Goofy Sky School is one of the most grinding queues. None of the queues here are any good, really, at DCA. None of them. Still 50, but there's no lightning lane. That's good. So they might be all right. But the lightning lane queue is empty. Hey guys, the Mariachi Divas, all right. Filming that backwards. I have no idea how that looks. No idea how I'm going to get out of here now. Whew. That was intense. I mean, it's busy. It's busy here today at DCA. Even though people, oh my goodness. There we go. Look at that. Takes me back to the golden days of when they first opened Little Mermaid. You guys remember that? The queue was down here, and they had queues running all the way down here. Remember that? So you might actually have a proper 30-minute wait here. Wow. Good job. Good way to go, Little Mermaid. I'm sorry, that looks great. That looks great. I can't say it enough. That looks great. It looks great. It looks great. I want to say it again. It looks great. Okay, where was I? Little Mermaid. $25. Hi. Yeah, 25 minutes. That sounds about right. I would have guessed somewhere in that range. Now, would you rather wait 60 minutes for Goofy Sky School or 30 minutes for Grizzly River Run? Like, that's just baffling to me. I just can't get my head around that. I mean, I love Goofy Sky School as much as the next person, but no thank you. Not an hour. And it's, like I said, it's kind of a warm day. It's not hot like it was. It's been more chilly lately, but it's warm right now. Redwood Creek. No waiting here. I want to go see how busy this is in here, actually, because it looks, or it sounds quiet. It sounds super peaceful in here right now. You can see they still, they keep up the Dillon's Grove elements during the day. So you get to see the spooky candles in less than spooky setting. It's actually quite a serene, lovely setting. Uh-oh, we have a Chip sighting. Watch out for Chip. Hi, Chip. Nice to see him roaming the grounds here at Redwood Creek. Yeah, this doesn't get enough love either. I mean, I guess you need to have kids to come in here. I like coming in here, but I'm not going to play around because there's nothing for adults to do. So I guess it makes sense that you wouldn't see people like me just walking through and enjoying it, though. Redwood Creek is probably one of the most underrated places to be in the park, though, because this is fun. even for adults, just walking around those bridges. I like going across the bridges, man. Is that wrong? Is that wrong? I can't do the zip line thing with the tires, and they won't let me do that. And I can't do the slide because no. But I love doing the little bridges and the rope stuff. That's fun.
Guess what?
Very underrated. And it's lovely. Certainly more lovely than the Goofy Sky School queue. Don't know why I decided to start hating on Goofy Sky School all of a sudden. It's just shocking to me that that attraction would have, you know, twice as long a wait as Grizzly River Run. It's refreshing, it's lovely, it's nice to be in, it's an exciting ride. You know, it lasts 5 minutes. And there's a frog eating a moon. Sorry, I'm just enjoying myself right now. I got a little quiet there. I just enjoy. If Redwood Creek is the most underrated attraction in the Disneyland Resort, Grizzly Peak is the most underrated land. It's the most Disney thing that exists at DCA. It's the place that's most like something that Walt would have done. Where the rest is, you know, boardwalks and I don't know, I guess he would have built Radiator Springs too. Maybe Avengers Campus, I don't know. But I really love Grizzly Peak. Although we don't have Francisco around anymore. He hasn't passed, he was adopted, I was told. I think we talked about that in the last video when I had asked what happened to him. I've been told because his health was not great, so he got adopted out into a home, a proper home, so somebody could take care of him. Oh, this is nice. A little breeze coming in right here. So I'm saying it's warm, it's toasty. The breeze feels good. You should be on Grizzly River Run right now. We forgot to check the board. I'm gonna see one raft. Let's see one raft, then we'll go check the board. Any day now. Screaming and spinning. There we go. Delightful. It was 30. 30!
Oh, mames, bro. Este güey no está.
Hey, how are you? And look at that, it still says 30. And there's no lightning lane. The lightning laners just went home. They all either went home or they didn't. They decided to buy Radiator Springs today instead. But there's no lightning lane, which is why it is 30 minutes right now for standby. Incredible. I'm actually in everybody's way. Okay. 30 minutes. Yeah, 30 minutes. Get in that queue, bro. There's a collection of guests. Oh, I was like, what's happening? They moved the Pluto meet and greet over here into the shade, maybe. I don't know. Usually Pluto meets by the plane over there, but they've got them over here now. Interesting operational move there. I guess. I don't know what qualifies as interesting anymore. Last stop is Soarin', and that is a good-sized queue. Look at that. It's stretching all the way, almost around the corner over there. Hi. Wow. If there's any kind of lightning lane, these people are all in trouble. And I do see that queue right there. We'll walk by there in a second, but that queue is lightning lane. It's such a weird disparity. I mean, isn't that weird, right? Like where it looked like for a minute, like all the lightning lanes went home on half the rides. On the other half, they've all accumulated at the Toy Story, Incredicoaster, here again at Soarin', but they're absent from some of the like Mission Breakout, down to 30 something or whatever. It's wild. There's the back of the lightning lane queue for Soarin'. Now this is not as bad as it was when we were here last month. I mean, it's still bad. That's a whole theater, and then some. Plus there's more inside, obviously. And it's starting to grow already, but this queue, by the time we left here, was out into the walkway out here. And that could happen again. Alrighty, you.
Although I think the fizzy drink sounds kind of nice.
And we're back at Carthay Circle once more. Molly is here. And now I've forgotten her name, the photographer. I want to say Fifi, but I think that's the name of her dog. I feel like a terrible citizen of Buena Vista Street. I should know her name. All right, well, there you go, guys. That's our State of DCA report. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and I hope it was informative for you. Stay tuned for more from Fresh Baked, obviously. We've got lots more content coming your way. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Then follow us on Instagram at _Fresh Baked, on Twitter or X at Fresh Baked Disney, that's Fresh with no E, and on TikTok at Fresh Baked Disney. If you like our show and want to show your support, I ask that you please do consider joining our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/freshbaked. Otherwise, thanks again for watching, everybody. We love you. Be safe out there. Be kind to one another. Fresh Baked.